Oh shit, we back again. What's up, what's happening? Come to the party and bring a friend. Fuck it, I'm bringing 10. Ooh, trying to chat a 10. Big boy trying to chat a 10. She said I was catchy. I said, so tap him in. Touchdown! Double cup, wow, I stuck smile when I puff loud. I touch clouds, catch touchdowns in my mind now, cause I'm zoned out. On a porch couch in the cloud. 2 coughs and I'm back now. 2 coughs and I'm packed out. Somebody give me a drink before I gotta sit down. I'm making hits now with a smooth style.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy, Riley Puddin' Peters. With me, as always, I've got the doctor, defensive backs quality control coach. We are the Trash Talk Tailgate. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. Gotta
Happy
hit that
Mother's
one first
Day
before we go. The formalities. Man, it's the all season. We're in that lull, right? We got the rookies doing rookie mini camp. You know, we get some news out of that.
Most of them.
Most of them.
Mm-hmm.
Stay tuned for more. You know, this is one of those times where, aside from a tidbit here and there, there's usually not a lot of news. But in the past week, we did have something go on that's pretty big, I think. New Orleans Saints quarterback Derek Carr announces his retirement from football. I mean, this was kind of a surprise for me. I don't know how you feel about it, but I was genuinely surprised when this came across the timeline.
Yeah, no, I mean, he had an injury going into this offseason, and a lot of people were wondering whether or not he would retire. And he said he came to a decision with his family saying that, you know, it's time for me to hang up the cleats, you know, and
Yep.
It's just, I don't know, man. I think Derek Carr is just the epitome of like a good quarterback, but he was never great. He was just good. He was solid for the most part. Like, what do you think of when you think of Derek Carr, Riley?
I mean, besides the amount of nickels I would have for every time that he allowed the ball to go out of the back of the end zone, I do think about, up until the last few years, you think about those years with the Raiders where it's really just hit or miss. I think that's the best thing for Derek Carr.
Yep.
It's always been the best thing for Derek Carr, hit or miss.
I was kind of thinking about this, Riley. Like, I'm trying to find like a good way to kind of explain Derek Carr's career. You know, he had a 65 career completion percentage. He threw for over 41,000 yards. He was a 4-time Pro Bowler. He threw 257 touchdowns to 112 interceptions, but he made the playoffs twice, and he never won a playoff game.
Yeah.
And I was kind of thinking about it, like, isn't Derek Carr kind of the Tom Brady of Tony Romo's?
Man. I think that's too high of a compliment.
That's too high of a compliment?
The Tom Brady of Tony Romo's, that's crazy. He's like he's like the Ben Roethlisberger of Tony Romo's.
Okay, that's fair.
Consistently,
Yeah.
I mean,
really, we're gonna watch Derek Carr lowlights.
Yeah, we just watched every fumble from 2018. Now we're watching lowlights, and I think that sums up Derek Carr. No, he's a guy that, yeah, he was a solid quarterback, man. That is the thing. Like, hit or miss is, I feel like it's fair for me in my mind because it's just really what it was, man. Sometimes those Raiders teams would be like surprises. They'd be dogs. They come out of nowhere. You know, they actually skirt that 500 line, which is, you know, hey, you know, if that's what your team's doing, I'm a Commanders fan. I can't talk.
No.
Skirting the 500 line has been my entire life. Praying for 500, yeah, I've been doing it since I was a child. Anyways.
But I think that's also an indictment on those teams because we never expected anything out of them. That's why they were always surprises. We had expectations for them.
Exactly. And Derek Carr is the exact kind of quarterback that a franchise like that would just center around for so many years.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just a guy that was he was good enough to where you did need someone better to like justify replacing him. But at the same time, the man has multiple low light films of varying lengths to go with the amount of follies that come behind a player of his caliber. But nonetheless, this guy is a legend around the league, man. He really is. Like, he's just been around. He's been who he's been the whole time, consistent. Between him and his brother, I bet you if you mashed them together, they'd make one really good quarterback.
Yeah.
With one strong jaw. Incredibly strong jaw. I mean, but oh, dude. Also, look, this dude could have been so wide open. What is this? This just kind of made me mad. I watched these routes and I was like, oh man, this route, as they drew them up, I was like, dude, these routes are actually going to be like, look at this. How you miss that?
You threw it behind him. Oh, that just kind of sums up Derek Carr, dude. Like, he's good, but he was never good enough. He was never good enough where you expected anything out of him.
All right, we gotta watch some highlights. I'm
we
feeling bad. I'm feeling bad that like I'm just thinking negative. Yo, this year's early Saints run was kind of insane.
It was.
Though the fact they fell apart spectacularly after that, that's whatever. But like, this early Saints run was insane. They were dicing all the terrible teams up.
They were. Oh,
man,
I remember people thinking, we were like, oh my God, are the Saints Super Bowl contenders? Like, no, they're not. No, just chill.
Hold on. Wait for the injuries to balance them out.
Mm-hmm.
Wait for them to get nerfed a little. I mean, injuries. Am I right? Ask Derek Carr.
That's fucked up.
I mean, not just his injuries. I mean, even when he was on the Raiders, he played for a lot of injury-plagued team. I think that's another thing. That's a true signature of being a mid-tier team, is like the injury bug. Because I feel like it can hit it. Actually, it can hit anyone. That's the truth. Mm-hmm. But teams that chronically suffer from the injury bug, chronically suffer from mismanagement of players, Jordan Travis. That is just a sign, seal, delivered. We are not a great organization. I mean, it's the billboard for it. You see it 10 miles before you get to it.
And I don't think the Raiders did Derek Carr any favors throughout most of his career. No. Like, they were bad, and he made them at least a little respectable. But like I said, they were never good enough where you expected anything out of them.
Yeah, it was also a rough era of Raider, because he was there during the transition era where they were trying to leave Oakland, so all the fans were. It was just such a weird era to be the quarterback of a team like the Raiders.
Yeah. And then you also had to deal with the whole Henry Ruggs situation when he literally killed someone in a DUI. And now Henry Ruggs is in prison.
He was a killer player.
Yeah. By the way, Henry Ruggs says he wants to come back and play in the NFL.
That's not true. Was it Aaron Jones said that Henry Ruggs? It was someone. Who was it? I
think it might have been. I think
it was a running back.
It was Josh.
Yeah, Josh Jacobs.
Yeah.
That's who it was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, nah. He says he's ready to come back. Anyways, killer situation.
Also, isn't it really funny? Remember a few years ago when Davante Adams left the Packers because he wanted to go play with his old college teammate Derek Carr, and as soon as he gets to the Raiders, they cut Derek Carr.
You know what else he had to deal with while he was playing for the Raiders?
That's true.
Look at that haircut. He had to deal with that every day. That was just around him.
Just win, baby. That's all. All the Raiders care about.
All right. Any more Derek Carr before we finish this bit up?
Just a good, solid career, but just wasn't good enough. That's kind of how I think of Derek Carr. Also, I'm really excited for the new Saints era, though, with Spencer Rattler.
Oh, God. We almost walked away with this without saying that.
Mm-hmm.
Spencer, I mean, the quarterback battle for the Saints now is hilarious.
It's Tyler Shuck, Spencer Rattler, and someone else. I don't remember off the top of my head. But Kellen Moore, the new head coach, has said it's an open competition. So Spencer Rattler is the most talented quarterback on that team. Tyler Shuck is not more talented than Spencer Rattler. He's not. And
I don't know, man. That man's an experienced vet of a rookie.
Rattler. I am going to die on this hill. Spencer Rattler is going to be a good starting quarterback in the NFL. He played well when he had the opportunity last year when their entire team had been devastated by injury.
Play well.
He played well, dude.
He played
the circumstances.
Nah,
dude. No, he played pretty okay. He played good.
He played pretty okay.
Yeah,
I'll
dude.
give
Given
you
the
pretty okay.
No.
I'll give you pretty okay. Pretty okay is fair. He did play pretty okay. Given the circumstances, obviously not being QB1 and trying to come in and lead an NFL team to a win is not easy. I'm not saying it is, but saying he played well is crazy.
I mean, dude, they got crushed and devastated by injury last year.
That's what I'm saying, dude. That's what I'll say with the Derek Carr injury thing, dude. Like, he's played on so many. Actually, this was hilarious. I wonder if it'll happen if I go to do this. Look at that. Look at that.
Yeah.
This is why so many Derek Carr teams end up with the
That's fucked up.
I mean, but it's true. Like, this is another legend of Derek Carr, the absolute hospital ball. That's why he's the Big Ben. That's why he's the Big Ben of Tony Romo's hospital ball.
That's true. That is very true.
Yeah,
That's funny as fuck.
Look, you remember this? Who remembers this?
I do remember this.
Why are you throwing that?
Just getting your receivers killed, dude. Getting your receivers knocked the fuck out.
Why are you throwing that, dude? Come on.
The triple coverage. Like, come on, dog. Just take the check down. Anyway.
I think they've got, a quarterback room that is going to be very interesting.
It'll definitely be interesting, but I still think Spencer Rattler's going to win that job.
They have not updated their depth chart. Why do NFL teams suck at updating their websites?
I don't know, dude.
This is something that irks me to my core, dude. These are billion-dollar teams. Billion-dollar organizations, hundreds, if not thousands of employees. And they cannot update a website to day accuracy. This is insane. You know what? While we're here, I'm doing it.
Is that what's wrong with the Jets today?
Hold on, let's see. I'm going to even give them maybe they fixed it.
Maybe they did fix it.
I need their website.
Just NewYorkJets.com.
Yeah.
NewYorkJets.com.
Here we go. We go to the news tab. We're going to the schedule. I mean, this is
gotta go regular season.
Nice.
Nope, they still haven't fixed it.
Wait for it. Their website still. I mean, this is just in the wake of Derek Carr retiring and finding out that no organization in the world can update their damn website. I just don't. That's just something that irks me to my soul.
Would it be the TTT if we didn't somehow shit on the Jets every single time?
I feel like every episode we will check the Jets website every episode. And maybe at some point they'll update it. I mean, maybe. I swear. Maybe it's been broken since last year.
Nah, dude.
The last time that shit was updated was the preseason. The last preseason game of last year.
Mm-hmm.
They fired their people and didn't bring them back for the regular season.
It's a sad state of affairs.
Oh, big dogs. said about the Eagles.
I
You know
agree
what?
with that. I bet
You
it
know
does
what?
work. Let's go to the Eagles.
Oh,
Damn, dude.
Eagles.
Is this triggering you that much, Riley, that NFL teams
This-
don't update their websites?
Yes. This is actually insanely triggering. These are billion-dollar companies, dude. Like, these are
So-
organizations. They have so many people working for them. It's crazy that I can't go look. All right, let's say 2025.
Well, the schedule won't be up yet because it hasn't been released.
Oh, yes, that's fair. Schedule 2021. See, theirs works. Our
Yeah.
2024 is all there.
Yep. Ugh.
Here's no. This is the test for me. This is what flipped me out on them. Let me see your roster.
They already have their players updated. Go up.
I know, but they don't have a
Saw
depth.
something about Andrew Makuba.
I know, but they haven't. I mean, I guess the depth chart isn't set.
No, it's not set. No.
No, they have all of these guys. They have the draft picks. Yeah. See.
Thank you, Buck Rowe. I appreciate that.
All right.
We do know ball.
I think I can say it with confidence. The Eagles have a working website. How we can get it done. I gotta know. God damn it. I'm stuck on this, but I need one more.
Oh my god, dude. Are you looking at the Commanders?
Yes.
You're a fucker.
I mean, I want to know, dude.
Are you gonna be so disappointed if it doesn't work?
Yes. New stadium. Hey.
True. Okay.
That's cool.
Fight for old DC.
Roster update? No, it's just that's a regular one. Where is team? I don't even see. We got draft. We got roster. There we go. Unofficial depth chart. Not. That's not updated. We do have our draft picks.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean,
All right.
You're updating it at least.
The Commanders have a working website. All right. I'm satisfied. You know who doesn't have a working edge rusher? First round pick?
Oh, is it
The
the
Bengals.
Cincinnati Bungles?
The Bungles.
Oh, I hate it.
I mean,
So,
listen, dude, there's nothing quite as bungling stuff.
So Riley, who was the one prospect that we both said needed the most development by far out of maybe everyone in this entire draft class? Was it?
Hold on. Oh, dang. Went too far. There you go.
Is that Shamar Stewart, Riley?
Yep. Yes, sir.
So if you need the most development out of anyone in maybe your entire draft class, and you were a first round pick based on not production, because you had 4.5 sacks in 3 years, but just athletic traits, you would think you would go out and participate and try to get better every single day. Dog, you chose not to sign the contract.
Also,
I just
the way it's
decided
worded.
not to sign those papers. I hate being on the sideline looking at everyone else do work. What the fuck? What the fuck?
It's just such a bad way to say whatever you have. Like whatever gripe you have, it's such a terrible way to get about saying it.
Yeah. It's like I get it. I don't trust the Bungles to do most things right. They could have very well botched this contract because they are notoriously cheap. They're also notoriously bad at developing projects like this. But if you're Shamar Stewart, you need all the reps and the development you can get, even in rookie minicamp. Because guess what? You were their first round draft pick on a side of a ball that absolutely stunk last year. And you're expected to come in and produce, which I don't understand why. You had 4.5 sacks in 3 years at Texas A&M. But, you're incredibly athletic and you can disrupt sometimes. But that doesn't make you a good football player. And if you need to get better at being a football player, you need reps. And if you're willingly sitting out a minicamp, that's a horrible look. And if I'm the Bengals, I'm like, dog, we might have already fucked up. Like, we really might have fucked up huge. It's the Bungles, dude.
Very valid crash out.
I hate it. I hate it. Like,
I mean,
and
got
then to make matters worse, your second round draft pick, your second round draft pick linebacker is also sitting out of minicamp. So that's 2 impact defensive players that you need to hit are just not practicing when they should be. They're not getting those valuable key reps.
I mean, what is happening in there? It's insane.
It's fucking insane. Free Joe Shiesty.
Free Joe Shiesty.
Just free Joe Shiesty.
So we have some YouTube comments from our Shamar Stewart versus Michael Williams video. If you haven't checked that out on the page, go check it out.
Go look at it.
Very good breakdown. This is pre-draft, of course. We didn't know where these players would end up, but it was just a raw comparison between these two guys. And I mean, you know, we come to a conclusion in that video that I think if you just, you know, watch the tape, you sit down, you watch the tape. Fuck, you watch the tape.
Yep.
If you do that, then like you get that this is a not even a competition, man. But you know, we get some fun comments out of this. So
we compared these two guys because Abdul Carter was, to a lot of people, the best edge rusher in this class, and I don't disagree with that. But I love Michael Williams. I think he was better than Jalen Walker, and a lot of people had Shamar Stewart up there as well. Michael Williams actually produced and has an incredibly high ceiling, but also a very high floor already. He had a hurt ankle. He played with a sprained ankle all year, and yet he still produced more than a healthy Shamar Stewart did.
Yeah.
But people want to be like, oh, Shamar Stewart is the better player and he has the higher ceiling. Like, he might have the higher ceiling out of any football player ever. But if your floor is non-existent, what the fuck does it matter?
Yeah.
Like, if you can't play football, it doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah, yeah.
And then this dude, Shamar Stewart will be the best edge rusher in this draft class. Just go watch the tape, bro. He had 4.5 sacks in 3 years. Like, and he played on a loaded defensive line with Nick Scorton, and Shamar Turner was the better Shamar of that draft class. He also had Walter Nolan for 2 years because then Walter Nolan transferred to Ole Miss for his final year. Like, and you know how much I love Walter Nolan.
Yeah.
He had a loaded draft class.
Yeah, dude, they really did. I mean, it was designed to help him. He had a loaded D-line,
and you still can't produce. But, disruption is production. No, it's fucking not.
No. Like, I think Michael Williams proves that because he is disruption and production.
Yes.
Like, he shows that real disruption has numbers with it. That's the crazy thing. Also, like, we got to talk.
No, it's true.
Yeah, dude. It's just sitting out of rookie minicamp really is like, I am more important than you. It's a real wide receiver take.
It's a very wide receiver take. And of course it comes from our very own wide receiver, Buck Rowe.
Our in-house wide receiver.
Our in-house wide receiver. But no, it's a really bad look. It's a really bad look. Like, I mean, here's the thing. Chad Ochocinco produced. Chad Ochocinco is one of the best wide receivers back in his day in the entire league. Like, he was maybe the best route runner I've ever seen.
Absolutely.
And he just knew how to get open. And Shamar Stewart, he can't produce in high school because he had 14 career sacks in high school. Like, that's really bad. If you are that dominant of a football player that you're an NFL player in high school, you should dominate high school. And then you go to Texas A&M on a loaded D-line, like I already said, and you have 4.5 sacks in 3 years. That is 1.5 sacks a year. But no, he's disruptive. No, he's fucking not. He's not a very good football player. And if he was disruptive, it's probably because he wasn't being blocked that much. Like, because they're just not worried about him, dog. They're not worried about him.
Let's go watch this opening play right here because I saw that in this one. I mean, literally, South Carolina gives him one backside blocker, a late backside blocker. That's all he gets.
He's not blocked there.
Literally unblocked.
He's unblocked. He's the read player.
Like, yeah, he gets out of this because he's shooting a read. Which, don't get me wrong, good on him for shooting the read that quick. But at the same time, like, try doing that what he just did to that Arkansas quarterback to Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
He's got to play Lamar Jackson twice a year now.
Yeah, he has to play Lamar. He has to play Patrick Mahomes probably in the playoffs because that's what they're trying to. That's what they're trying.
Yeah, that's what they need. I mean, the Bengals with Joe Burrow now with the 2 fat contracts to T. Higgins, Jamar Chase. They are in we need to win to prove that we're not wasting this money mode.
Right now. We are in win now mode.
Yeah,
so, of course, you go out and you get the biggest project in the draft. You drafted the Anthony Richardson of edge rushers. How did that work out, Colts fans?
Oh, my God. That's a good one, Preston.
Yeah.
That's a good one. The Anthony Richards of edge rushers, that is the best one you've had today.
Hey, Riley, was he blocked on that play? Go back.
No, he wasn't, dude. This is the first time I think he's been blocked, and if I'm not mistaken, he got tight end. Maybe that was the left tackle. Yeah, it's the left tackle. No, it's tight end. He beat a tight end and a running back to get a sack there. That's cool.
Yeah, pretty cool. All right.
Come to the middle.
That's one of his sacks. Congratulations.
I mean, that's technically him fucking up. This is just him being fast that saves the day.
Yep.
Because he's not keeping contained.
He takes a horrible angle.
Yeah, this is what we talk about with him, and like the ceiling is the guy is a freak of nature. Mm-hmm. He can do that. And this is one of those things where you see that freak of nature, like he can catch up to a player. But once again, this is just a game against South Carolina, and he blows a contain and gets lucky because he's fast enough to catch up to that running back. But like, do it to Derrick Henry. Do it to Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson. You got to play him twice.
Lamar Jackson, like do it to Mahomes. Do it to Josh Allen.
These are SEC teams, and they're very good teams, and you can't say that the players that he's playing against in these are absolutely all scrubs, because that is false, and I'm not here to say that. But against teams that have one or two of the guys that go on to form NFL teams in most cases, because that's just the reality. None of these highlights are against Alabama. None of these highlights are against Georgia.
No.
So most of the teams that they're playing have one or two NFL prospects, maybe 3, maybe 4, if it's like a really good one.
And as we're seeing, he's not blocked in a lot of these.
Yeah, dude, he's being left open.
Unblocked. Doesn't that tell you what these coaches thought of him?
Boom. I mean, that his
he's
highlights
unblocked.
Yep, he's just catching the read man.
I mean,
yeah, this is.
Like,
and
as a coach, like you have to sit down and you have to game plan based on film. Like, okay, what do we think our best opportunity is? Like, who can we make the read player? Because it's not always an edge rusher. Sometimes it's an outside backer that you make the read player. Sometimes you make a nickel. Not all the time, but sometimes, like, who are we going to leave unblocked because we're just not scared of, and we don't think he's disciplined enough to sit and make those plays?
Yeah. I mean, the reality is at high level, even in SEC level, like higher level football, every time you leave someone unblocked, like you're gambling. You are. It's a risk. You're gambling. So teams and coaches go out of their way to be smart and pick and choose who they want to gamble on defenses usually, especially at this level. And it's saying something that teams are consistently gambling on him as their unblocked man.
Oh,
like
my
that's
God,
that's a sign teams look at, man. Like
this comment, defenses specifically game planned for him. No, they didn't. They specifically game planned to leave him unblocked.
Yeah, to let him be the read man.
Yeah.
And, listen, that is what it is.
Whatever.
But you know who else is defending Shamar Stewart?
Is it
The people of Reddit. But
Of
you know what we know
It's
about
always
Reddit?
the people
Reddit doesn't know ball, baby.
I love that. Reddit does not know ball. All right.
And I know you are a fan of Reddit, I think is an easy opinion.
Every day, dog. I cannot stay away from Reddit.
Yeah. And, the people of Reddit, of course,
They have their opinions.
They have their opinions.
Yep.
And so, Dr. Preston has found some opinions of folks that he just, he had to go. He had to let them know.
It's just a lot of people thought he was good enough to be drafted in the first round. I think a lot of people are idiots. And I think that proves out this is the thing. That's why I have such a love-hate relationship with the NFL, specifically the NFL draft, because there are these dudes that get paid millions of dollars to make these dumbass decisions every single year. All we saw from that Shamar, that was a highlight tape.
Yeah.
That was highlights.
Yeah.
All we saw was him being unblocked, and whenever he did make a play, it was because typically he was unblocked or he was the read player. Just go watch the film, dog. The film will tell you how good of a player you have. I don't care how good he is in underwear. If you are drafting based solely on athletic traits and what he does in underwear, you're not drafting a good football player. Like I said, go ask Colts fans how they feel about Anthony Richardson.
The Anthony Richardson of edge players.
We warned them. Did we not, Riley? We warned them not to draft him. And they used a top 5 pick on him. I don't know, man. I think a lot of people are idiots, and I think it plays out every single year. No. This mini camp thing is not ridiculous. It's a real thing.
I mean, yeah, dude,
he
that's
needs
insane.
Development. If he's going to hit his ceiling, he needs to get as many quality reps as possible. So him sitting out just because he didn't want to sign the contract, that's dumb. That's so stupid. That's a huge deal. Especially because the Bengals need impact players right now. Right now.
Yeah.
They can't wait for this kid. Which is another reason why I thought it was so dumb that they drafted him. They just, that's actually wrong. He had 14 sacks in high school. But still, he had 4.5 sacks in 3 years of college. I mean, I don't know, dude. There are other ways to evaluate edge rushers aside from sack numbers, like tackles and tackles for loss. And he wasn't very productive in those areas either.
Yeah.
I mean, I do know better than NFL scouts, dog. I do. Just go look at my track record of predicting good and bad NFL players. I mean, it doesn't matter how good you test. How good are you as a football player? And again, the Bengals are not a team that I think any of us should trust to develop players like this. You remember John Ross? The dude who ran this insanely fast 40 time out of Washington? He didn't do shit with the Bengals. Didn't do anything. But they drafted him in the first round.
Went out of their way to get him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they are a team. They're a team that tries hard to make a crazy, a big play, or not a big play, but a steal. Mm-hmm. And then it's just doesn't work because they try to make a steal. They don't go for ready-to-go players, which is such a crazy thing. And I don't even know where that comes from. That's got to come from something, but why?
I mean, dude,
it's not working.
Look at their own division. You have the Ravens, who got Malachi Starks, who was just the best safety in the draft. Yeah. They didn't make a crazy play for him. They just hey, he's the best player on our board. He's a damn good football player. We're taking him. Watch the tape. Look at the Steelers. A lot of people thought they might draft a quarterback. They said, nah, Derek Harmon is the best player available right now. we're going to draft Derek Harmon, and he's going to be a beast for them.
Yeah.
Look at the Eagles. They get Jahad Campbell at 31. Jahad Campbell should have been a top 15 pick. Like, no. The Bengals could have drafted Jahad Campbell.
Probably should have.
They could have drafted Malachi Starks. Like, it's just dumb. It's going to blow up in their face. I hate this draft pick. The more I think about it, the more I hate this draft pick. It's just dumb. It's just so dumb.
It just never gets better, does it?
No.
Well,
better.
Let's see what else. So you had this one.
Yeah. So the one prospect each team must avoid in the 2025 draft. This is specifically about Bears. We're gonna shit on the Bears.
We're gonna find a way.
Yeah. No. So this Titans fan right here. Okay, go back.
Yep.
Warren. He's talking about Tyler Warren, the tight end. He thinks he'd be a great pick for the Bears. And then this Bears fan respond. A lot of Bears fans have been saying that. Yeah, you need to get an elite prospect or an elite or a great offensive or defensive lineman. Riley. So Bears fans think that they're like in this ready to win position.
Yeah.
They think that they're ready to win right now. They think in year 2 of Caleb Williams, now they get Ben Johnson. They quote unquote upgraded their offensive line. They think they're in a win now position. Well, would you like to hear some hashtag copious notes about what the Bears have actually drafted and how bad they've been at drafting?
All right, let's do it.
So let's do it, dude. So I just went back to 2022 since they hired their GM, Ryan Poles, who, by the way, do you know what Ryan Poles used to play in football?
Lineman.
He's a former offensive lineman.
Former bub.
So here we go, Riley. So they've had 9 first or second round draft picks which is a lot. That's a lot of first and second round draft picks in the 4 years that he's been their GM.
Yeah.
You know how many first or second round draft picks they've spent on offensive linemen?
I'm assuming none.
It's 2.
Damn.
It's 2. One of them was a first rounder. They've spent 1 first round draft pick on an offensive lineman. But they're ready to win now, Riley. Because even if both of them hit, and that's kind of up in the air if they have. Like, I like Darnell Wright, but he's not amazing. And fucking, one of them's a rookie this year. So really, in 3 years, they've spent one first or second round pick in 3 years on offensive linemen.
That is crazy.
Isn't that fucking insane?
Yeah. And I mean, listen, because the offensive line is such an important spot.
Yes.
It's so disrespected constantly, but it really is. And the best way to develop it, we've said it a million times and we'll keep saying it, you got to have veteran pieces, but you got to have a young base. That's just the only way to really have a consistent, good offensive line throughout your years. I mean, that's what you have to do. You have to keep bringing in young, very talented linemen to start early and get experience so then they can be the veteran pieces later. Yep. Look at the Eagles. Look at the way that they've ran their stuff. Like, and the Bears this year, they went and they got 3 out of the 5 positions in the free agency with veteran pieces,
older.
Yeah, older.
Older, yep.
Which is the
there's
thing.
a reason they were free agents.
Yeah. I mean, even if they play as good as they did last year, even if you take out the possibility of regression, which is a really big question mark, by the way, but let's take it out and just have that as not a thing. They're going to do exactly how they did last year. You're only going to get, a limited number, 2-3 years with that core. And then they're going to have to switch. And the thing about offensive line is the thing that makes an offensive line so good is continuity. It's essentially they become one brain, hive mind. Mm-hmm. All 5 of them functioning just in symbiotic nature. Like they're just, it's harmony. And that is what you see out of the best. But the key to that is years of that relationship, years of chemistry, like not weeks, not even months.
It's another reason to draft them young, like to get them in the draft. So you
and also
can
to have
them
and have them be good or good enough to where they can play consistently. Because that's the thing too. If you go get young 5th round, 6th round, 7th round offensive linemen that you know are going to have to sit before they're ready to go, they get lost. Those are the players that get lost in the fray. You know, those are the practice team journeymen of the NFL.
Yes. They're not going to get developed like they should to contribute.
And that's, you know, a team like the Bears, that's where they're getting a lot of line prospects.
How's that worked out for them, Riley?
Not great, man.
Not
you got
great.
a whole bunch of journeyman offensive line in your offensive line room. You know, Ben Johnson came in and he was like, well, I know what I need to do first. And he went and got himself some veterans. But at the same time, the rest of their offensive line room right now, like you said, Wright is a good, but, you know, for a couple different reasons, you can't really say much better than good tackle. And then, you know, a journeyman offensive line room with these 3 guys. So, you know.
And I have to credit our executive producer, Jasper, for this because I think he summed it up so great. Another reason you have to draft offensive linemen so early is because they're so rare. Like amazing elite offensive linemen are so rare. Yeah. They've hit 3 genetic lotteries. They've hit the weight, the size, and the athleticism. The height, the weight, and the size, and the athleticism to play.
And the intelligence.
Yes.
And the intelligence.
But like they've hit at least 3 genetic lotteries. Those are just rare human beings. They don't come around, which is why 6th round offensive linemen don't pan out most of the time. They're just not, they're lacking either in one of those areas or in multiple of those areas. Yeah. That's why you need to hit offensive linemen often and over and over and over again. You just hit it constantly.
You gotta pick the outliers.
What?
You need to get outliers. Like you have to every draft, in every position, but especially in line, I feel like in linemen, there's kind of a very distinct line for me. Maybe it's just because that's what I am and that's what I watch, so I can see it. But there are always going to be outliers. There are people that are just obviously better, right?
Yes.
There's always a handful in every group that are just obviously better. And that's the handful that you have to go out of your way to pull from as much as you can. That's the key. Focus on the outliers.
Yeah.
Because you can't, it's not saying that you can't find a diamond in the rough. That can happen. But teams that rely on finding diamonds in the rough, it's just not a successful strategy.
And then Riley, and then the Bears, they go out, they get Colson Loverin, who's a tight end. I like Colson Loverin a lot. And then with their 2nd round pick, they get Luther Burden. They spent 2 of their top 3 picks this year on skill guys. Look at what he says. Look at what this guy says. P-Dash right here. Warren just feels like such a luxury pick for a team that still is questionable in the trenches. This guy knows fucking ball.
Yeah.
He's one of the few Bears fans I've seen that knows ball. And then this Steelers guy down here, you already have the quarterback. No, you don't get him a surefire check down option. They already have DJ Moore, Cole Kmet, and Rome Odunze. They have plenty of weapons. Yeah. Protect your fucking quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, he really does. He's got weapons, man. That room is not empty. That is not a weaponless organization.
No.
The problem is that they can't get the weapons the ball. And if you can't see that, I plead you, go watch the tape.
Please. Caleb Williams was sacked by far the most out of any quarterback last year. And if you watched him, yes, Caleb showed flashes, but they couldn't protect him. Now, some of that is on Caleb because he holds the ball too long, but you still have to protect. You have to do everything you can to protect your franchise quarterback.
Yeah. All right, let's check these other ones.
Yeah, so here's another one that I just love. A significant portion of our fan base believes that the line has been solved after replacing an oft-injured guard with an oft-injured guard and trading for a great 32-year-old guard and signing a center. What have I been saying, Riley?
Yeah.
If you replace your old injury-prone offensive lineman with more old injury-prone offensive linemen, you're going to have a bad fucking time.
It's not going to be good.
Just ask Jets fans. They did it last year. How'd that work out for them? Ugh. Dog. Thank you. Dude, are Bears fans learning? Are they watching the TT2, dude? Are they learning? Like, oh my God, dude. I want to give this guy a hug. Everything he said is spot on. Oh, everything he said is spot on.
This guy nailed it.
Oh, he fucking nailed it, dude. Any pick that is not O-line or D-end is malpractice at 10. He summed it up. You got to get your bubs. Got to get your big, ugly bastards.
Yeah, I mean, you got to focus, man, especially for a team like the Bears that want to win.
I mean, yeah.
You got to be able to run the ball.
Run the ball, dude. It's crazy, bro. Like, if you have a great offensive line, everything else just gets so much easier.
Yeah.
Isn't it crazy how that happens? You're able to run the ball. You can play action it. Your quarterback's not going to get killed every play. Isn't it crazy how that works?
Yeah, if your quarterback isn't getting creamed every play, you can actually move the ball and function as a football team.
Yep. Yeah, I know.
I thought that was crazy.
Oh, yeah, dude. Isn't that crazy? All right. Okay, moving on. What do we got next?
Oh, do you see the... Did you see
yeah, dude. Oh, I love it. Oh, dude, it's a split zone.
I snuck a split zone in there. Sneaky split zone. Oh, man.
You're a bastard. All right.
So now we got to talk just about everyone's favorite organization to do something stupid. It's the Giants.
I don't get it, man. You know how I feel about Joe Shane. I think he should have definitely been fired last year. I think you could argue he should have been fired 2 years ago. But so go back to the video, Riley.
Oh man.
Giants fans, they were trying to defend him. I mean, I get it. It's draft day. You want to have some fun. But Joe Shane, he basically prank calls the Titans GM doing like a fake trade up. It was basically joking, but it's like, I get that. But here's the thing, dog. That's not something you do when you're about to get fired mid-season.
Apparently this is this guy's MO, which I thought was hilarious.
It's just a clown behavior. Like, Howie Roseman can do that. Brett Veach can do that. Like, they can have some fun because they know they have job security. This dude should have no job security. Shouldn't have a fucking job right now.
Not fucking with you. I'm pretty sure this dude bought his outfit from Joseph A. Bank. I'm like almost 1,000% sure he bought that from Joseph A. Bank.
That's awesome.
It's just a little sidebar. Anyways, let's keep going. That's awesome. Yeah, no, these dudes, the Giants really are consistently one of the worst.
All right.
And now let's listen to the NFL talk shit, or Reddit talk shit about a guy that should have been the MVP of the league.
Well, no, they're defending Joe Shane. Joe Shane.
I know. Well, defending Joe Shane is also usually talking shit about Saquon Barkley. I can only imagine.
Yeah.
Someone's got to do it. I know someone talks shit about Saquon at some point.
I'm just guessing. Here's the thing. This dude, he talks about how his biggest mistake was extending Daniel Jones and franchise tagging Saquon when it should have been the opposite. I agree with that. But here's the other thing. If you watched Hard Knocks, and I wish we would have done something on it. We just didn't have time last year. But if you watched Hard Knocks, the Giants, they were just proving how incompetent they were because they were showing everything. They were so incompetent, they didn't know how incompetent they were. Yeah. Like, because they can edit out certain things.
You can edit it.
Not to show.
Yeah.
And they're just showing everything. And so here was the biggest thing. Like, yeah, Saquon was bad, but Saquon wasn't going to help them win because of the situation of the team that Joe Shane has helped create. So he was, to me, at the beginning of Hard Knocks last year, Joe Shane went up to their head coach, Brian Daboll, and he said, hey, what do we need to improve on? And Brian Daboll responded immediately. He said, we need to fix the offensive line yesterday. Joe Shane goes, all right, bet. And you know what his dumbass does?
Brian Burns.
He goes out, he trades high-end draft capital, a second-round pick for an overpaid edge rusher who they just brought in Abdul Carter to replace a year later.
I mean, literally, dude.
What are we doing?
And then in Hard Knocks, he's so happy.
Yeah.
He's so happy of himself.
He is.
He did. He came in, he was like, you won't believe what I did. Because they show it pretty funny too, because it's like within an episode that he comes back, that they show him going to Brian Daboll and I'm like, we need an offensive line yesterday. And then it shows him coming back like not that long later, and he's like, I got you, Brian Burns.
Yeah.
And Daboll's like, cool, I guess. What did we do? What do we do?
He's like, dog, I told you what we needed. That's not what we needed. Trading for an edge rusher like that is a win now move.
Yeah.
That's like we need a piece to get us over the top to go get Patrick Mahomes or Joe Burrow or Josh Allen. Because we really believe we can win now. The Giants are not in win now mode. And so, Riley, you want to know some fun facts about the Giants?
Hashtag copious notes. Let me know.
So I went back the last 6 years since 2020. In the last 6 years, the Giants have had 13 first or second round draft picks.
Nice.
In the last 6 years. So that's to me, that's where you get most of your high end, legit starting caliber offensive linemen. Do you agree with that?
Oh yeah, for sure.
First and second round. Yeah. And I have stats to back that up too. Do you know how many offensive linemen they drafted out of those 13 in the last 6 years?
How many?
2.
Oh my, there's no way. There's no way they make there's no way they make the Bungles look good.
Oh, I mean, dude, it's insane, bro. So they get Andrew Thomas. He's been a hit for them. He's been one of their best players just anywhere. Then they get Kadarius Toney, the wide receiver. Then they get Kayvon Thibodeau, another guy that Abdul Carter's probably going to replace. Deontay Banks, the corner, he's been okay. Evan Neal has been a bust for them. Malik Neighbors obviously was a hit. And then the two unknowns are Abdul Carter and Jackson Dart. But, I mean, dude, those are their first round picks. But two of them out of 13, even if both of them hit and only one of them has, you still have to have 3 more offensive linemen.
Truly. And this year, I mean, they get Abdul Carter on a defensive line that's their best attribute in the entire team.
Yeah.
You can't let a guy like Abdul Carter walk, and I understand that. Generational talent's generational talent. But still, you can trade back. I know.
Here's the thing, Riley. You can't play all 3 of them. You have 3 edge rushers now that you've invested high draft capital in. Yeah. Kayvon Thibodeau, first-round pick. Brian Burns, traded with a second. Abdul Carter, the 3rd overall pick. You can't play all 3 of them.
Yeah, now you got to rely on a trade or something. Yeah. Or, some crazy defensive scheme. Make one of them switch to outside linebacker or something like that. Who knows? But no matter what, they overloaded one of their best positions with the 3rd pick, whatever.
It's dumb.
Hey, that is. But then they trade back into the first round and take a quarterback when they just went out in free agency and got 2 veteran pieces. Trading back into the first round to get another quarterback is crazy.
Does this sound like a GM with a real plan?
Yeah, I mean, the plan is to waste as much as they can. Waste all the capital.
I mean, and again, dude, he's doing what so many NFL teams and franchises do. They don't build a team. They draft a quarterback high. That quarterback sucks because he has a horrible team around him. They can't protect him. They don't have weapons to throw to, but really they can't protect him. And then they're like, oh, well, obviously it's the quarterback's fault. So let's go in, not learn our lesson, and draft another quarterback with a first-round pick because that'll change things.
They've acquired 3 quarterbacks this offseason.
It's fucking ridiculous.
And
You knew what I was
How
about
many?
to say.
Do you have a stat on how many offensive linemen they've acquired this offseason?
Mhm.
I'd like to know that stat.
Well, yeah. I mean,
Nah, you're good. But like, it's just crazy. You know, like that's like such a crazy offset of numbers. You get 3 quarterbacks in one offseason. What is that?
So Riley, would you like to hear another fun fact about offensive linemen?
Hit me.
So I did some hashtag copious research with my hashtag copious notes. So I went back and I looked at the last 5 all-pro teams. You know, the voted all-pro teams. And so if there's 5, that means, you know, you have one offensive lineman at each position. So you have, you know, 2 guards, 2 tackles, and a center. So the last 5, that's 5 times 5 is 25. Do you know how many of those all-pro offensive linemen were either first or second round draft picks?
How many?
17 out of 25.
Yeah, makes sense.
And do you know who 3 of them were? Like he wasn't a first or second rounder. 3 of them were one player.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Jason Kelsey, who was, I think, a
Fair.
6th round pick.
Yeah.
He's an outlier.
I mean, he is a diamond in the rough. Hey,
Yes.
that is a diamond in the rough. And like I said, those exist.
But
if you spend your entire focus on chasing diamonds in the rough, that's just not going to be successful.
You're going to have a bad fucking time.
Also, they have dealt contracts to 3 offensive linemen this offseason, 2 of which are re-signings. One was being picked up in the free agency, and I've never heard his name. And then they also drafted a dude in the 5th round. So they signed 3 quarterbacks and only added 2 new offensive linemen.
That's really cool. Good for the Giants, dude. I'm sure things are gonna work out for Joe Shane.
Yeah, the good news is you can use more than 1 quarterback at a time in the field, right?
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, dude. Of course. Just like you can use 3 edge rushers at a time. Like, okay, so Riley, I do have more on this. Okay, so Riley, so stay on this one.
Yep.
So you know, this Giants fan, he was going back at me, you know, because I said, you know, I responded to the thread, you know, I talked about how Joe Shane went out and traded for Brian Burns. And look at what this dumbass Giants fan responds with. He also signed more offensive linemen who were solid, which automatically makes it our best O-line in at least a decade until they got injured. What have I been saying, Riley? If you sign old injury-prone offensive linemen, they're going to get fucking hurt. It's not going to make a difference. Oh,
need depth or youth.
You need depth.
Depth or youth. You got to pick. You got to have, honestly, ideally you have both. But
look at the Lions, dude. They have the best. You could argue they have the best offensive line in football. If not, it's definitely top 3. And they got Tate Ratledge in the 2nd round. He's going to play for them.
He's going to play. And I mean, look at the Eagles, dude. Look at the way that they developed their offensive line. I mean, they've taken very consistent stabs at getting young guys. Another valuable thing, and I mean, the Eagles almost undoubtedly most successfully have used this. It is kind of a gamble, but like you have the International Pathway Program.
Yeah.
Wait and go pool. I mean, Jordan Mailata is by far the most successful pathway program player in the NFL. I'd argue.
Yeah.
But like, dude, there's some monsters out there in the world. You want to be like, you can go get a 6'9", 320-pound Samoan tomorrow if you want him out of the IPP.
And that's the thing, Riley. This is another thing that I believe in just in terms of overall draft strategy. If you're going to take a flyer on a project like that, you do it later. Because if he doesn't pan out, no one cares. If you're the Bengals and you take Shamar Stewart, who's the ultimate project, you are judged on whether he hits or whether he busts.
That's right, Bengals.
And the odds of him busting fucking skyrocket. You know, because he needs to be developed. And it's the Bengals, dude. Like, and again, dude, like you said, the Eagles, they go out, they get a project tackle from Texas in the 7th round this year.
Yeah.
They're gonna develop him for a few years, and he'll probably be a starter at some point.
For sure.
If you're gonna take a flyer, you do it later on in the draft. In the first and second rounds, you take impact football players that you know are going to help you. I don't give a shit about how your ceiling is. I care about how high your floor is. Are you a good football player?
Yeah.
That's the baseline.
In short terms, you got to do the Eagles game plan and get your dogs in the first and second round.
Exactly. I mean, dog, it's ridiculous.
It is crazy.
Yeah, I'm tired of yelling about the Giants because all they do is piss me off. Here's the other thing, Riley. Just one more thing.
Yeah.
Joe Schoen deserves no benefit of the doubt because I firmly believe this as well. If you're a GM, you can build a team either one of two ways so your fans and your organization can develop trust with you. You either go get the quarterback and you're like, hey, we have our quarterback, now we just have to build. Or you build the team and you're like, hey, we have a really good team, now we just have to go get a good quarterback to elevate the team and to put us over the top because we have a really good team. If you fail to do either one, you should be fucking fired.
For sure.
He's failed to do both.
The fact that he still has a job is insane.
Yes.
I mean, after Hard Knocks last year, like as soon as that show released, the Giants ownership should have gotten together and been like, yeah, all right, let's get him out of here, dude. Like that shit looks so bad. It looks so bad for them. They let him stay. They had a terrible season.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
I mean, it's just because like the Giants, they don't have a competitive roster and they obviously don't have a quarterback. And he's been there for, I think this is his fourth year. Like,
whoa, they have 3. Okay,
that's true. I mean, you can't trust him at this point.
No, dude.
You can't.
This dude is playing like he is running a Madden franchise and he forgot that the cap limit was a thing. So he had to scrap his entire team 2 years in because if you're under the cap limit for more than 2 seasons, you get fired. And so he just had to scrap his whole team and build them up from nothing. That's how Joe Schoen is running the Giants every single year.
It's so dumb, dude. It's so dumb. All right.
He's a genius.
All right, dude. What do we got next?
Honestly, man, we're at about an hour. I think this was a beautiful spot to end. I mean,
Reddit doesn't know ball, dude.
Reddit doesn't know ball.
Reddit doesn't know ball.
Well, thank you everybody for tuning in for this one. I hope you appreciate it, listening to the doctor go off on people on Reddit because it definitely was a good time. But thank you for tuning in. Please like, comment, subscribe. Keep coming back for more. Watch our shorts on all of the platforms at Trash Talk Tailgate on all social media platforms. Check us out. Keep coming back, man. We got good content coming out the pipeline. Dr. Preston, you got anything for the people?
Nah, man, just keep on coming back. We appreciate y'all. Go watch our shorts. They've been doing really well. You know, we're able to pump out content like a motherfucker now. We're really, really excited about it. We're going to keep on doing Reddit stuff, going to keep on doing YouTube stuff. Let's do it. I'm fucking excited, man. It's the off season. Let's go.
Let's go. All right, folks. Thank you for tuning in. But for this one, we're going to clean up and get out of here.